Hello and welcome to Actual Play. Blades in the Dark, the Rusted Lock. We are a pair of cultists up to no good, or actually up to a lot of good. We're trying to stop nobles from taking demons and using them to their own ends, and instead we're using them to our ends, or we're setting them free. It's unsure. I see now that captioning is working. So, huzzah, we're doing a little captioning test. It's a thing. If you're on Twitch right now, you could turn on captioning by hitting the CC button, and you can turn it on and off. I don't know how good it's going to be. We're trying it out. This is AI captioning. So, we'll see how good it is. Anywho, hey, what's up? What's up, John Harper? All nobles are bastards is my assumption of that hashtag. Yeah, I think that is right, 100%. Anywho, I'm Sean. I use he and pronouns. I am playing Ankh, the Whisperer. She is all sorts of entangled with various otherworldly forces. Currently, right now, just carrying around a forgotten god, or a little piece of a forgotten god in her that just needs to find a home. And literally a home, like a building. Like a building needs to house this thing. And the Lord of the Depths. That's me. Just normal biz about the show. If you sub or cheer or send money our way, goes to a split between the Translegal Defense and Education Fund and Black Lives Matter. So if you're giving us money, that's where it goes, and we appreciate it. Okay, I've talked enough. How about you, Jamie? What's going on with you?
Hi, I'm Jamie. I use they, he pronouns. I'm very lucky to be the GM of this particular crew of cultists. I may have a penchant for body horrors. I'm going to put the content warning out right now. Just a amount of body horror, and so yeah, I'm really excited to get into it today. We paused at mid score last time, and it involves things like rituals and eating demons and skinwalkers. I did give that warning about body horror for a reason. So yeah, I'm really excited to get into it. How about you, Kristen?
Little bit of body horror. Hi, I'm Kristen. She, her pronouns. I'm playing Penance, also she, her pronouns. Penance is our leech. And she's also carrying around something with her. It's not a forgotten god, but it is a friend in ghost form. So Penance, several sessions back, was possessed by Athea and is really struggling emotionally with whether she likes being possessed because she gets to have this relationship with this ghost, since her friend Ankh is kind of emotionally unavailable. So
You need some really, really big air quotes for those uses of friend.
We held hands 2 sessions back. There was hand holding.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was more my comment on Athea, honestly.
It's true.
But the same.
Athea has been there for you and
Athea
has protected your interests, right? And is supporting your desire for vengeance and to destroy all those who wronged you.
I mean, that's
so.
I can't. Yeah.
Can't argue with that.
Yeah. No. I mean, Ankh really wants to be friends with Penance, but man, yeah, it's tough.
Athea's in the way. So yes, we left off at a huge emotional cliffhanger moment. As Jamie, they do a very good job at cliffhanger moments. So are we going to recap? Is that our plan?
Yeah.
We should, for our own benefit.
Yeah, for the audience.
For the audience, absolutely. Not because we've forgotten anything.
No, never.
Right. Exactly. Okay, so just to recap in terms of where we are with our score. So we had a particularly bold plan to go after Lilyblood, right? Because Lilyblood in particular is connected to a place of power that Ankh has decided is a good place for our little god, right? For our god to reside in. It's also going to be a powerful way to connect to the Deathlands, if that's right. I remember.
Yeah, I believe there's a spirit well here, and I think that it goes. I believe it is also a physical well that sort of allows us to like climb down it, go through tunnels, and emerge in the Deathlands as well. And because of the gravitas of the spirit well, the plan is this is going to unlock the claim, or this is the claim we're taking, which is safe passage into the Deathlands. Once hey Luke, once we claim it, but there's someone else has taken up shop in it, Lily Blood and her friends.
Right. So what we remember of Lily Blood is Lily Blood used to be the scion of the Aguilar family, like incredibly powerful. But instead, we know that Lily Blood is connected to the Dimmer sisters somehow. We know that the term Lily, like the sister name of Lily, is something that most sisters are no longer allowed to use. We know that there's some sort of connection between Lily Blood, the Dimmer sisters, and Athea, right? So
Right.
there's something going on. We're not sure entirely what it is.
And
The
Lord of the Depths, that is a forgotten god currently setting up shop in Ankh, claims Lily Bud as his or their child.
Oh, Athea, yeah.
Athea. Sorry, Athea as yeah. I mean, it's unclear whether the definition of child there is a conventional biological sort of definition, or if there's other meanings to that. But
Yeah, definitely.
lots of connections there.
Yeah. And we also know that Lily Blood has become powerful enough of a ritualist or magic-y dark person in general, because she has the ability to see demons as food, and had a pet demon, Azarax, who you freed last time, right? She also has a penchant to collect skins from the flower garden, which is the place where you work at. So one of your claims, right?
In fact, that's how we got in, right? We posed as couriers delivering her next skin suit that we thought was going to be for her, but it turns out it's for Angelo.
Angelo being, so tell us about Angelo, Penance.
Angelo was a crew member of Penance's first crew, and it's unclear exactly what their relationship was at the time that they were in the crew together. I think there was something going on, hasn't been fully defined, but pretty sure Angelo is in love with Penance. Penance has some sort of love for Angelo, and he is in a terrible position right now. So I think that's where we left off. We have to see what Penance is going to do. Is she going to try to save Angelo or not?
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So just to paint the scene a bit, just so that so we arrived at this house, right? And there's some sort of like weird, creepy rich person party that is secretly a demon eating ritual. No big deal. This is just what rich people do.
I attuned to the ghost field and got and realized, like, I was able to see that what they were eating was in fact had just pulsating with life despite being chopped apart. And lovely.
Exactly. So all the guests here are being used as part of Lily Blood's ritual, right? You do have the feeling that these people aren't fully aware of how they're being used in this way. And aside from that, we know that there's like a lot going on. I'm like looking at
I do feel like this is a score where a lot of other things have sort of
come together.
A lot of threads are coming to an end. So it is a bit more complex than some of our other scores, for sure.
Yeah.
You were saying, Kristen?
Oh, that, and I might have cut you off. I apologize if I did, Jamie. But I know that the package that we brought with us that Penance was holding, she did light that on fire, right? So it burned. So now that skin suit is no longer available, and that's how Penance revealed herself unintentionally, because her disguise mask burned away as well. That was a consequence. And so now Lily Blood has recognized Penance's regular plague mask. So.
Ooh, so good. Yeah, I can see Sean struggling to remember like what shenanigan was I up to. Actually,
100%.
what I very clearly
100%.
remember,
I just
Sean was.
remember being
Go
like,
ahead.
I just remember creating my own pet theory that clearly the way Lily Blood is trying to control this demon is by like separating it. And I think I might have even said this in the game, and I just can't remember. And then I suspect, based on the way you described it, I suspect that there's some sort of like pulling force, some sort of strong force that is like trying to pull back together. And by physically separating this demon, once the people like leave this party and go their separate ways, like that tension and that metaphysical or tension will continue to exist. And that is the way it's by pulling on those strings that Lilybud can sort of control the demon. At least that was my supposition, that there's there's gravitational pulls here that are all these poles pulling in different directions. So or maybe like a piano string pulled very tightly, and she can just pluck the strings to make the notes that she wants.
Perfect. Wonderful metaphor. Absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, and so we also know that it's a fire demon that's being pulled over in these different directions, and when Penance used the fire oil, the demon saw it as an act of worship. So there's just that remander, no big deal.
What
totally
did you
fine.
throw the fire oil at? Thank you. I forgot about this. I know there was something going on. There was like the
skinwalker, the skin suit.
The suit. Right. we delivered the suit, and you're like, nah, fire oil.
Yeah, I remember Ankh had this very like plan of like, oh yeah, we just have to get everybody to like cough up what they were eating, and it'll disrupt the ritual. And Penance is like, I'm gonna burn this shit. Right? Like Penance was so like overcome with
because Ankh's plan was hey Judd. Ankh's plan was definitely like let's figure out a way to interfere without them realizing, and that's.
So I think roughly all of that led up to this harrowing moment where Lilyblood realized that Penance is there. Lilyblood knows that her ritual is being interrupted. She is determined to turn Angelo into Skinwalker out of vengeance for how her previous home was destroyed and the golden dagger was taken from her and all these other things by this lovely cult. So Lilyblood has one hand on Angelo's neck and is about to snap it. Like we can hear the cracking of the bone. And at the same time, Athea is whispering to Penance, saying, I can save him. I can help you. But Penance is only like one tick away from Athea completely taking over control over Penance. So you can say yes to Penance in this. You can say yes to Athea in this moment, and it will save Angelo. Or you could try to resist it on your own, but this is it's going to be hard. Like he's going to get hurt no matter what, right?
Right.
I think the fire oil was actually a resist to stop Angelo from being converted, and we have two important clocks right now. One is Angelo the Skinwalker, which has 2 ticks out of 4, and the other one is Athea in control, which is 5 ticks out of 6. Just throw those up there.
I had forgotten about that Athea offered to help. That's
and it's so funny. I've been playing a lot of Life is Strange True Colors lately, so the 2 choices in front of you anyway,
right?
But yeah,
just put Athea up there next to Penance.
Yeah, for no reason.
That's really close. I feel like you're putting them very close together, Sean.
Just 5/6 worth, right? Just
I want to try. Do I have to resist, or can I try to take an action? Can I try to do something instead of resist?
Oh, right. We're at that moment where if there's no resistance that happens, his neck gets snapped, right? Like that's where we are. Yeah. Mechanically, it's very dire. It's very dire.
Right. Yeah, sure. Angelo's neck is being snapped. Do you want to resist that?
I'm gonna resist. Let's definitely do that.
Yeah. It sounds like a plan.
Right. But you don't have to resist if you let Athea help, right? That's the just putting that out there.
Yeah, I like how this is kind of organically played out because it's not just me as the player saying, no, I don't want that last tick. It's everything that happened in downtime with Penance realizing by talking with Salia, talking with even Grounders, where like the seed was planted of like, oh, maybe Athea isn't here for my best interest. Like maybe she shows up and tries to hide it from me when she's showing up. So there's like some deceit there. So I think it makes sense that in this moment, especially because it's Angelo, that Penance is going to, for the split second, ignore Athea and attempt to resist.
Yeah, and what does that look like? How are you trying to stop Lily Blood, right?
Yeah. Can I mean, if I'm resisting, is it something that I can like get to her to physically stop her in time?
Yeah, like you're pushing yourself to the limit, right? Yeah.
I mean, I would really like to use if it works narratively, I'd really like to use ghost echoes if I need to close distance faster.
Ooh.
Because she may not be expecting that. But I can try to resist first and we can see what it looks like and then.
Oh no, let's see. Let's look at ghost echoes. So that's one of the crew things,
crew.
Is that right?
One of the crew moves we just picked up.
Just forget.
And it was literally because we have the Lord of the Depths and we are, learning all of these secret parts. Like in the last score, we like found secret parts of the city hidden in the ghost field. Let's
I mean,
into chat.
Penance, if you want to say that you flash back to this moment because you thought something like this might happen and you prepared something in the ghost field, you could also say that that's your form of resistance through a flashback.
Okay.
Yeah. So lots of ways to play this out. Yeah.
I think that's an interesting way. Normally I would say like, oh, you want to physically stop somebody from snapping his neck. That's a prowess resist. You run over there, you pull him, you knock him away, whatever. But
right.
I think that idea of like, no, I want to flash back to a time when I set something up in the ghost field so I could anticipate this makes total sense to change this into an insight resist, instead.
Yeah.
If you're predicting, I like that a lot.
Yeah. So, but either way works, right? So whatever you think is more true to Penance at this moment.
Oh gosh, I don't want to hold this up.
Hey, it's okay. It's a big moment.
I know.
Yeah, I really for you.
I think I want to use ghost echoes. And even if because we just got it, even if we flash back to say that like as we were coming in, or we talked about this last time, that on the way, Ankh was kind of pointing out to Penance, like, wait, can you see like that extra door, right? That extra street. So Penance was becoming more aware of it. And so I like the idea that Penance is going to attempt to use ghost echoes to navigate like through. I'm going to say that there's a door, like a ghost door behind where Lily Blood is. And I want to try to come out from behind the door because she will, I can maybe I can catch her off guard. I think she's prepared for like me to lunge at her. But if I can get in behind her, then maybe I can.
Ooh, I like this a lot.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Kristen, what do you think about the idea of not all of you going? Like you just like plunge your hand into a mirror and she's looking at you like ha ha ha, and suddenly your hand is on hers and you like pull it away.
That
like,
I will. Yes, let's.
Does that sound cool?
Yeah.
Then you could like be facing her from across the room or whatever. But
I like that.
Yeah.
Very cool. All right. Let's see. What form of resistance do you think this is?
Oh yeah. I mean, if I'm trying to
I think it's still prowess. Honestly, you're using for physical.
Because you're trying to move.
You're using ghost echoes, but you're not changing the way you resist. It's still a physical action. It's still your strength and speed against hers. and you just have the advantage that you can move through this house in uncanny ways.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm selecting prowess. Oh, how many dice? Oh no.
And when you click it, it'll
do it automatically.
Yeah, you don't need
Roll
that.
20 is great that, right?
It'll roll your 3 dots
right.
you have in prowess and then tell you how much stress you take. You'll be fine, I'm sure. This won't draw me out.
It'll be fine. I just looked over at my stress.
That was not a great resistance roll.
I do feel like you jinxed it, Sean, if I'm going to be honest with you. The moment Sean said that, I was like,
yeah.
Yep.
We're just going to get these rolls out of the way. It's fine. Yeah. It's going to be fine.
Judd threw out the idea from one mirror to another, and if that sounds cool, like if there's a mirror behind her.
That's how I was picturing it. Thanks, Judd.
Nice,
that's how it was in my mind too.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm gonna say, like, when you push your hand through, right? I think to justify the 3 stress that you take, right? As you plunge your hand in, there's just this sound that like attacks you. Like you can hear the screaming throughout the ghost field, the static that Ankh experiences because she's so used to interacting with the ghost field is just pure on screams for you, right?
Oh,
there's a part of you that's like, how does Ankh like survive in this space all the time, right? Like and I kind of like the idea, like as your hand reaches out through the other mirror to grab her hand, we see a form of penance. And I think like for the viewer, like if this were a TV show, there's like a light coming across the mirror so we don't see it completely, but it's penance without her mask on, right? That's like grabbing through the mirror.
Nice.
Yeah. So you grab on, and then like at the last moment, you can see like it gets pulled back. We're gonna say like his neck is not snapped, but you can see that he's badly hurt, right? Like there are these harsh bruises, and there's like you realize because like by this point, Lily Blood is barely able to keep her form together, right? Like her skin is rippling. You can see like her hand, we're not going to go into too much detail, but parts of it have pulled away, right? And so like these long nails have dug into Angelo's skin, right? And why am I so cruel? Anyway, he's starting to bleed out.
He's not in a good way.
He's not good.
Yeah, his neck is not broken.
There's
this huge gouge, right? Yeah.
There's this Key and Peele skit that makes fun of like 80s movies where every time Keegan goes up behind somebody, he like snaps their neck. And as it continues, as the skit keeps going, like he touches them even less and less to the point where like, he like taps them on the neck and like he snaps their neck. And at one point, like someone snaps his neck and he just like snaps it back and it like ripples through them and snaps their neck. And like this is my feeling of like Lily Blood. She has that like I can just like neck snapping. Like I barely need like forget the Foley that of like the twist. Like she could just have done it, but with hardly a flick. But.
But I want to stress, that he's still alive. He's just in a really bad way.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say we're still going to. Oof.
I feel like we might need another track for him. Like I don't mean to create clocks on clocks, but it feels like Angelo is a Skinwalker and Angelo is dead are kind of 2 different tracks that don't necessarily. That aren't necessarily like one can happen independent of the other.
Yeah. I will say though that for Lily Blood's purposes, it doesn't matter if Angelo survives the process or not.
Oh yeah, I just think
I'm just gonna put that out there.
Penance might want both Angelo to be alive and to not be a Skinwalker. I'm just saying those are 2 big threats from our perspective.
I think that's her preference.
Yeah. All right, so let's put up a 4 tick clock if you could for me, please, John.
Oh yeah,
we'll take it. Yeah, we'll take it once.
Cool. Angelo bleeding out has 1 tick of 4, or it will in a second once I choose it correctly.
Yeah. Thank you.
Awesome.
But yeah. But you do have Angelo. Do you want to pull him through the ghost field back to you?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, don't worry, you can do
Yeah.
that. No need to roll. I'm not that
Okay.
cool. Okay, so so with one hand, right, you grab Lily Blood. With your other hand, you force it through, and we hear that scream again. You
Mhm.
hold on to Angelo and you pull him out. So when this is happening, you can feel like the entire house is disrupted by the ritual
Mhm.
being interrupted like this. It's like there's this huge amount of power that just cascades forth from that point between Angelo and Lily Blood, and you can see that what was like this tension between all the strings are like pulled taut in that moment, like they're all on the verge of breaking, and you can feel your head splitting open from the feedback. Right.
Yeah, that sounds
What do you
horrible.
do?
Um, I think this is happening kind of coterminously. We've already Arik has already used a ghost key in the past to like shift the ghost field frequency of a mirror, and so I love the idea that like we're seeing that like previously like really difficult thing to do now is like just a thing that Penance knows how to do because we've like figured it out, like we like unlocked it, so now we can just travel through these ghost echoes. Very cool. Just wanted
Mhm.
to throw some stars that way. So what I'm going to do, I have the occultist ability. It's a really bad ability. People shouldn't take it. But it says that you can, if my sheet will pull up, it says you know the secret ways to consort with ancient powers, forgotten gods or demons. Once you've consorted one, you get +1d to command cultists to worship it. I don't know this fire demon, but I bet you if I ate some of it, I could. So I am going to, with a splitting headache, feeling winded from being almost drowned last time, and seeing all of these platters of food that these nobles are consuming. I don't want to take this demon. I'm planning on giving this back in a gross way. But for the moment, I think the easiest way for me to commune with it
Mhm.
is to ingest it. It's been prepared as food, and that's my fastest route to talk to the demon because I really want to undo this ritual without um, shattering everything. If everything gets shattered, so be it. But I would like to preserve this demon and restore it. But first, I got to figure out what its name is so I can command all these fucking people to do what I want. So this is anyway. We're starting with let's meet the demon,
Let's meet the demon.
Right.
the edible version.
I don't even think this is a action roll. I think this is a resistance roll to see if you can handle.
Ooh.
Does that make sense to you? Because I think like once you swallow it, like to resist becoming part of the ritual and to learn what you
Yeah. I
can.
was going to
Right?
say, I think you have to tell me the consequence, right? Which is,
Yeah.
oh, if you swallow it, you become part of the ritual.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Exactly.
and I will say no to that. I would like to make a resolve resistance.
Nice, nice. And I'm gonna say like as you pick it up, like it's I'm resisting the urge to go really gross. Anyway, but it's like from this.
Who's
It
in
looks like
chat
a
right
group
now?
of right. It looks like a pile of Turkish delight. I just want to say real quick, I was very betrayed when I realized what Turkish delight really was. When I read about it, it seemed really amazing in The Lion of the Witch and the Wardrobe. But anyway, okay, so it's this pile of like Turkish delight. You pick one up, but as you pull it away, it's like it's sticking to the others a bit. And as
Yeah.
you place it in your mouth, it starts to. I'm gonna double check our lines and veils really quick, just to make sure, because I think there was something in it.
So far, I'm okay.
Yeah.
Everything
I'm
is
fine.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna. So then it starts taking on like an insect like. Sort of like a centipede as it like slithers down your throat.
Sure.
Right?
Would you swallow a roach to get ungodly power? Would you do it if it got you tenure? Yes. The answer is yes. I would swallow.
Yeah, eat the centipede. It's fine.
Right. And we see it slither down your throat. Okay, so let's see the resistance to because you can feel yourself being pulled into the ritual, right?
Yeah.
Like you can feel your bones separating,
And-
wanting to become part of it.
And I think Oris, my midnight snake, which is also my demon bane charm, kind of like curls out of my sleeve and around my hand and like through my fingers. And it's almost like when you see it, like when you see it go down my throat, it's like the way a snake swallows something whole. Like I don't chew it at all.
Yeah.
Just
Nice.
and I'm holding my demon bane charm to try and as part of this resistance, letting Oris kind of weave through my fingers and feeling his scales against me. Yeah, we have a Google Doc for lines and veils. Yeah. Resolve sound right to you? Resisting being pulled into the ritual?
Yeah, absolutely. Makes sense.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's a good thing. I'm happy with that. All right.
What is that roll?
What?
What?
Roll 20. When I turned on the cheat code, you were supposed to still stick some other numbers in there.
Also, you turned on the cheat code and gave me 3s and 1s.
Right? You know the worst part about this is because I just traumatized, I have no because I just overindulged, I have no stress. So I can't even get a stress from that. That feels like such a fucking betrayal. But I do think there should be something said for quadruple critting I don't know.
Don't worry,
I've
I got
never
you. I
seen
got
it.
you. I got you. I got you,
Wow.
Sean. I got you. I have an idea. but tell me first what happens, like why you're able to resist it so readily, right? Like what is it about Ankh that will not fall to this?
Yeah, I mean, I think this is like I'm feeling at liberty to be a little extravagant right now, and I think uh, I think we basically like cut back. There's like a flashback to Ankh on the mission that she did with her family that we never played out, and Aunt Nirix being like, now remember when you capture that demon, because this is before we set Azrax free, when you capture that demon, and then like she whispers something in my ear, and then we see Ankh with Violet and Orchid, and they're like playing with some tinctures, like in like Penance's lab, and like Penance, what happens when you put lotus blossom in with nightshade oil, like, oh no, that's not a good one. Okay, cool. And they're tinkering away, and then Ankh like swallows something, and she's like, "Oh yeah, that burns. Okay, oh okay, it's better now." And there is somehow some sort of like demon seal, like Pepto Bismol style. Before this, I'm going stupid ridiculous here because I rolled that crit. I feel at liberty to just say that it's like right before the score, while Penance was doing this thing, Ankh was swigging this thick syrupy liquid that is somehow protecting her from having direct contact with the demon, and it went coated all the way down. So that's that. So it's in her, but it's not making complete contact right now. Yeah, it's really
that.
thick and tastes terrible, but yes.
Excellent. Perfect. Right. And so I think as part of that quadruple 6, I feel like, we have to justify it somehow. I think at this moment, you see in the distance, like one of the doors slams open and you see like the eye of the Lord of the Depths coming through, right? And so you have a moment to ask the Lord of the Depths for a question or a favor, and they will assist you.
Yeah. So you say I see one of the doors open, like one of the ghost doors open, and I see the eye. I think just for the coolness, like my shoulder is revealed, and I think we see it closed there, right? Like it closes here and opens in the ghost field. Yeah, and I say, King of all that is below us, how do I make this place I need to loosen the strings that Lilyblood holds on this home. How do I make it hospitable for your presence? Is that too on the point?
Oh, no. Totally
Okay.
fine. Totally fine. Right. And so you hear their voice, little owl, little snake, little girl. There's too much fire in this place. We must drown it with water.
Cool. What's our elevation in this building?
Well, remember, we did establish it is close to the river,
Yeah,
right? Like, and part of this house is sunken into the river. So.
that's what I thought. Yeah.
I mean, I will say that when the Lord of Death suggests that, you can sense how the ghost field, like you can sense that they're exerting their pressure across it, right? So if you want to fuck around with the ghost field in order to flood the place, it is a thing you could do. I'm just thinking about how Ankh would like approach this.
Right? Fuck around and find out. Yeah. So I feel like there's a moment where Ankh is like, cool, I could go through one of these ghost doors, open a place to the river, to the Mist River that we're right against. We're right next to the Mist River. Like, open a portal and just let it flood the building. And in doing so, totally abandon Penance and Angelo in this horrible moment of need, right? Like, I feel like that's the choice. So, and I don't want to do that, Jamie. I know you're just so thrilled about the plan. Yeah. So I don't know, Kristen. How much do you think Penance is aware of Ankh at this moment? Like, what do you think? Is she just completely focused on Angelo? Does she realize Ankh is imbibing this demon?
I think that as soon as Penance has pulled Angelo back, towards her, that her next move would be to look towards Ankh, like, we getting the hell out of here, or like what's next? So that's
great.
Sense.
So Ankh looks like she needs to throw up. She looks green around the gills. She looks real bad, and she's like, we need to go down deeper, and wants to take one of these ghost doors with you into like the depths of the house and like flee this shit.
Yeah.
But she's not going out. The front door is right behind us. Like, we could just bail.
Yeah.
But she's like, we need to complete, to sanctify this place. We need to go into the depths of it.
Can I see the ghost door?
Sure. I mean, you have ghost echo too, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Or at least I think it's reasonable for you to be aware of it, even if you can't, without a spirit mask, without a tuning. Maybe you don't see it directly, but I think you can, in whatever way you're aware of it normally. I think you would be.
Okay. Yeah. I like to imagine that now, since it is somewhat new, that things kind of flicker for Penance, right? Like, it's there and then it kind of flickers away and then it comes back. But yes, Penance takes a step forward, but pulls Angelo with her and says, the three of us are going.
Yeah, and I think like Angelo looks at you and he opens his mouth and he says, I knew it wouldn't be the last time we would see each other. And you can see how happy he is to see you, but his skin won't stop rippling. Like, it keeps shifting and moving, right? And you can tell he's still, even though you've disrupted the ritual, he's still caught up in it. And Lilyblood turns to look at you and she says, my dear guests, you're not going anywhere, right? And she snaps her fingers and can see all of the guests who have eaten the demon. They start to bend over and their skin starts to shift and move, and you can see all of them start to become skinwalkers, right? And it's all collecting towards the front of their faces as their bones start to extrude. And Ankh, you can feel like inside your body wants to shift and change, but because you're not fully connected to the demon and the ritual, it's not happening.
Real bad abdominal pains. Real bad.
Yeah, basically.
Ooh.
So all of them surge towards you. What do you do?
Yeah. I think So had we the time, Ankh would talk to you a lot about how she doesn't think Angelo is at all fit for doing this. But instead, she just looks at you like, okay, I hope you can hold him with one hand and fight with another. And she doesn't care about these people. These are not people she came to save. These
No.
are shitty nobles being duped by a shittier noble.
Yep.
These are not people that need need salvation. I think I brandish a blade, my Aruvian fencing blade, and I start,
Here we go.
cutting a path to the door, right? Like I think this is going to turn into a chase, and I think I want to start this chase off with some skirmishing. I want to fight my way. I'm hoping that we are able to move fast enough that they haven't completely surrounded us. Like that we see this transformation, and with a few deft slashes, I can cut past the ones in the way, and we can start this chase scene of going through physical doors and ghost doors and other shit.
This sounds like a setup action, right? To make sure that you're not going to be in a desperate position to get through the doors, right?
Yeah, that sounds great. I'm down for that. What's my position and effect when I'm trying to fight fire demons?
Well, would you be surprised if I said desperate?
No, I would not.
Shocked. Jamie, shocked.
Desperate? How? Okay, I'm going to say desperate. And there's just so many of them, and Lily Blood is incredibly powerful. So we're at desperate limited right now.
Desperate limited is all I need. I just want to set up. That's perfect. Yeah, so cool. I'm going to do that. Kristen, I think if you assisted, you would trauma. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, do you want to do that? I don't think it's a good idea. But
I'm happy to trauma out for you.
I don't think it's I think it's a very bad plan, but
let's save the traumaing out for like
yeah. Cool beans. I am going to push myself, and I think it is literally I think the push is literally a matter of trying to keep control of my gastrointestinal system and keep control of my focus and my thoughts. But this ritual cannot win out over me, because I think if I stop, I will be subsumed by it. That's at least what's going through Ankh's mind right now, is fuck it. Fuck it. Mask on, headaches, headache can rage, but I'm going to see what I'm fighting. And she just the first one she runs into, she just runs it right through their back, right through their stomach, just to open them up. And we cannot discuss what comes out, but that's a hell of a you owe me. All right. Desperate limited skirmish. Desperate limited skirmish.
Blades, the musical.
Yeah. Apparently all my cheat codes got used up.
I mean,
it's not bad. 4's not bad.
I got a 4. Hey, I got Mercury Stress. I did it, so I'm super content with that. What?
Yeah. So, right. So you're able to cut through, and you do carve that bloody path, right? I think it's this is your slow-mo awesome action sequence moment, right? As you cut through, quite possibly one of those Netflix corridor one-shot kind of things, right? As you cut through to get to.
Thank you. Thank you for understanding what I just want in every game. We got mindless demon zombies, hordes of them.
Yes.
We've got Ankh and all of her Ankaya at Vasu school sword training, and it gets to pay off in this moment.
Yeah. Excellent. Yeah, and I'm going to say the consequence, which you can choose to resist, of course, as always, is that as you cut through, you notice like some of the bodies, they're no longer really people at this point, right? They're just extension of Lily Blood's will. Some of the bodies have like started to adapt, right, to what you're doing, and you can see like some of the bodies behind you, they're it's almost like they're all connected, right? Some of them start taking on like a blade like quality to their skin.
Oh,
As you
cool.
cut through them, they're like learning from you at the
Mm.
same time, but you can try to resist this so that that doesn't happen.
Nah. Learn away, improve, upgrade, do it, bring it.
Hard mode. We don't resist.
Hard mode. Yeah. Yeah, I love the idea that it's, you know, I don't want to lose genre here, but it's like the Borg is modulating their shields, right? Like
I was thinking of the Borg, I just didn't say it out loud.
yes, like absolutely. Like the first time I do it, it runs one through, and then the second, and then they've changed at one point. Like I cut, and like their body is hard, or at some point they raise an arm and it blocks it like with a blade. It's out of their arm. I love it. That's great. I love the idea that like by me putting up like them having contact with steel, they start assuming its properties.
And this is an aspect of the skinwalker, right? Like just sort of like taking in and absorbing whatever cuts through the skin. And Penance, you notice like as this is happening, as you start putting two and two together, like with the blades and everything, you look over at Angelo and his eyes start taking on a steely blade-like color.
Oh, they're coming. They're going gray.
Yeah. It's very hot, but it's very scary at the same time.
It's clearly hot. I mean,
right?
Penance hesitates for a quick second.
Yeah. But you see, like Angelo, like push himself up, and then like he grabs your hand, like he understands what the plan is, and he looks at you and he says, "I'm never, no matter what." Like he's not saying it out loud.
Yeah.
But he's saying, "Don't let go." Right.
Yeah.
As he takes your hand.
Yeah, and I think.
And we cut back to that moment when you did let go. I'm just gonna put that out there.
Just twist the knife.
Fall into the fight below. Yeah.
Oh.
I hope Athea is pissed off. I hope she's pissed off.
She probably is.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna say, Penance, when you reach out for Athea, there's only silence.
Oh
man, that's petty.
She has like crossed her arms and turned her ghost back on me.
Yeah. So visually, what I'm imagining, just to make it really cool, is that we're in this big foyer. We're in this big open room where they were all dining and whatnot. And literally, there's like two staircases on either side, and they lead to like a door above. And that's where the ghost door is. It is not intuitive that going up would get us down, but that is literally, there's like people up there, and Ankh is like, not apparently by the end, not cutting through them. Like the first one she cuts through, but she's fighting her way up one side of the banister so we could get to that door. And I think it ends with her like just trying to cut through one of these and her blade not being heavy enough. It's a fine dueling blade, and it just bouncing off of its, as it's like raising its arms. And, the door is there, a path has been cleared, but now we've got to run through. Kristen, do you want to do a group prowl roll to move our butts?
Yeah, sounds good, right?
Let's do that.
Yeah. And instead of it being desperate, like it would normally be because of the setup action, bought yourself some time. So I'm going to say it's risky standard.
Okay.
Since we can shift either position or effect, can we go desperate great? As in,
sure, yeah, of course.
As in, not only do we like get away from them, but we also buy ourselves a little bit of time to do whatever we need to do, like to tend to Angelo, to commune with the Lord of the Depths, to make a bomb, to blow up a hole that the water could flow through. It was like, does that, like, we actually leave them behind for like more than just a second? Does that sound?
Yeah.
Cool.
Awesome. Skirmish. I'm sorry. What are we rolling?
Prowl is the thing that covers prowl about unseen traverse obstacles, climb, swim, run, jump, and tumble. I feel like it's a straight chase. Like we're running through the halls and we know where the door is and we're gonna dive through it.
Desperate great.
Yeah. You got dots and prowl, right?
1.
Cool. That's
Better
one
than-
more I got.
Don't tell me it'll be fine though, Sean.
I'm not telling you it's fine, but I am going to ask who I think I should lead it, only because if you lead it, then you
Yeah.
will very well trauma out.
Is that okay? Do you have enough stress? I've 1 till I trauma.
Stress for days.
Right, because you. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Jimmy, is there a devil's bargain that we could hear in this?
I will
circumstance?
always offer a devil's bargain for you, my love. Absolutely. I'm going to say that the devil's bargain I'm going to offer you is if you take a part of the fire demon into the depths of the house like this, like you'll make it a little stronger, right? It's going to see you as a way to like gain power in a way that Lily Blood did not want the demon to gain it.
Awesome.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think there's a moment where like you see like Ankh is like going to throw up, like she's like, "Mm," and she kind of like holds it in,
Mhm.
and I think she starts feeling like burning in her stomach. This is really unpleasant for Ankh right now, but yeah, I think she's just like using that fire. She's gonna run faster.
I love.
Yeah, nice.
I love that Ankh wants to vomit, and Penance has taken a split second to like hold Angelo's face and be like, "I won't let go. I'm
I
gonna
won't let
get
go,
you
yeah.
out of here."
You know, Ankh is literally standing, like Ankh is fighting with one hand and like holding herself on the railing, like, oh god, oh
Yeah.
no.
And behind you, I'm having this in like perfect lighting. I'm having this romantic moment.
The most
It's
beautiful
so
moments always
good.
come in the grossest scenes.
It's so
Yeah.
good.
Perfect.
It's so good.
I
Yeah,
also
yeah.
love my lighting in this room. It's just getting darker and darker, and now it's just like nothing but
The computer
great.
screen.
it's great. Let's
Desperate.
make a desperate great prowl roll to get down. I will lead it. I'm going to take the devil's bargain if that's okay, because I got no dice,
Yeah.
and I'm
And you're spending the stress. Take it.
that's true. Well, and I'm doing the thing, so I'm
I was gonna wait for you to roll, but
yeah, okay.
Oh.
That was a good idea, because now it's all on you. Yes.
yeah.
I'm gonna take a stress because I rolled junk, and I'll mark XP. You
Who
should mark
needs
XP
force?
too.
Who needs 4 6s when you got a 5?
All we need is 1.5.
It's fine. Okay.
Exactly.
Marked it.
Exactly.
Cool.
All right. So as you run through the corridors, through the ghost doors, like you can feel the Lord of Depths is like leading you on, right? You can always see like in the distance a door open up, an eye behind it, a door open up, an eye behind it, right? Over and over again, as you go deeper and deeper through the house and through its space. And like you realize for a moment that as you run through it, you recognize one of the corridors. It looks like from the Dimmer Sisters Manor, right? And then you run through it again and you recognize Lily Blood's home before it was destroyed. And you realize like there's a space in the ghost field with these strange houses. They're all connected in some way, right? There's a path of some kind, right? And so before you can like fully absorb that information and understand its full implications, I'm going to say like the consequence is that you rush through one of the doors, but it turns out like it's all just pure, it's like ghost mirror, right? And you crash through it and you can feel it like cutting against your skin. And so the consequence is all of you are going to be like cut from the ghost field, right?
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
And it's going to be like stripping apart of parts of your aura. Like you can feel like it fraying at the edges of your soul, right? So I'm going to say it's like a level 2 harm.
Yeah. I have so much harm.
You can resist
say,
it. You can resist.
Penance is in like Harm City.
I am.
She's
Look at this.
you've only got one level 2 and one level 3 left.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're doing good. You got
I'm
space.
fine.
You're dizzy, terrified, having hallucinations.
It's fine.
Yeah. No, I think there's this awesome scene of like them running and just crashing through, and all these
Yeah.
shards cutting and fraying, and I don't know. I tumbled and rough, and I love it. Ghost
Ghost Field.
Ghost cuts.
Ghost cuts.
Let's go with I'm gonna say like frayed aura, right? Because like what's
Frayed aura.
happening is like your aura.
Lacerated spirit was just.
Oh, nice. Oh, let's go with lacerated spirit. How can I say no to that? That's too
All
good.
right.
That's very good.
Yeah, that's very good.
There we go. Kristen, you want me to throw it in there for penance?
Oh, sure, please.
I'm there. Yeah.
Thank
Cool.
you.
You've
Right.
got one. I should retract our effect on this. I hate saying this, but I'm looking at my harm right now, and my harm is winded. And winded is very applicable in a chase. So I really should have less effect. I mean, that's what it does.
Yeah. So we're not as far ahead as we think, then, maybe.
I think it should have gone desperate great down to desperate standard because I was winded. Because how am I going to lead this thing and be charging? Sure. I probably should have taken that for the skirmish roll as well, but I think I could have justified my gear bringing it back up to the limited at least. I only needed
I'm also okay for like this instance where the winded didn't affect the chase because you did use the fire of the demon to like.
True.
Right. So I can accept it for now. That's okay.
Yeah. But I was like, oh yeah, running, jumping, climbing, these things. Yeah. Probably hard to do right now.
But you gave the fire demon more power, so it feels fair, right? Totally fine. Yeah. And so besides, I thought a really, really good result of the grade, and I don't want to waste it. So.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway,
let's take it.
So as you crash through the window, there's a moment where it looks like you're going through it sideways. Then the whole camera spins, and you're coming downwards from the ceiling, and then it spins again, and you're coming up, and then you land in the room, right? So you can feel like gravity shifting and trying to like reform around you as you find yourself. Where exactly did you want to go?
I wanted to go into the canal dock that L nobles have, that is underground and is where the water is lapping up, and where they probably have all their fancy boats parked. I wanted to get to the bottom. I actually, let me rephrase that. I wanted to get to the spirit well itself, like the whatever that physically looks, whatever that physically manifests as. I know it's a place that pulls ghosts in, and I'm hoping it'll pull in Athea. But anyway, sorry, Penance.
No, I love it.
Yeah.
Excellent. Actually, I'm going to say, like, Penance, you notice as you were running through the corridors, the silence of Athea remained, and you realize it's not because she's ignoring you, right? Like, as you crash through the mirrors, you can see, like, the different shards form, and you can see, like, Athea reflecting all throughout. And there's a moment where your mask slips, and you realize your face is starting to change. It doesn't look like your face anymore.
Oh no. Okay. Yeah, I think for a second Penance like reaches up, right, and like touches her own her mask, but like touches her mask, like, oh.
Yeah. And Angela looks at you. Are you okay? Did you get cut? Like, like he's trying to like check. And you can see his own aura is also fucked up, by the way, like from what happened, right? But he's concerned about you. Like this is basically, are you going to tell Angela about what's going on with Athea or not, right? In this moment.
I absolutely love the idea that you're sitting there like, he's like, oh, do you have a cut? And Ankh is sitting there like, cut to shit, trying not to vomit, holding her sword like a fucking cane because she's going to toss over. clenching at her guts. I
Off
just
the third wheel, you know.
totally a third wheel her, and she's like, yeah, nope, let's definitely talk.
Right.
We get all our feelings out right now. Definitely.
Penance is like, I do have a scratch. Is it bleeding? No, it's okay.
Yeah, and then there's a moment where he pulls the scratch to his lips and like just a very sweet, tender moment. Right.
I think Penance does Penance want to tell Angelo? I don't think Penance knows if she wants to tell Angelo yet or not, but I think she does know now is probably not the time, and so she's just going to touch his face again and say, I'm fine, don't worry. There'll be time for us to discuss matters later. And then we'll actually turn her attention to Ankh to see what sorry, I just pictured you like against a wall, like sliding down, but to see what kind of connect with Ankh and see what she needs.
So Jamie, if we've made it to the underground space that like the well is in, I feel like it's fair to say that there's just like a shit ton of ghosts all spinning around in this sort of all this spectral energy just focused in this one place, and it has this incredible pull. And Ankh's idea is we go into the well, we pull some sort of horrible stopper from within it, and we basically let loose a flood of spectral water and nightmares to fill this house.
Because what's the worst that could happen? Yeah.
I mean, it's a terrible plan, but it's the best she has with a fire demon in her belly. So that's what Ankh is looking at. Like, I think is what we got to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I will tell you what's going on in her mind, which is Penance would be way better at doing this because she could figure out how to rig the well to blow. But if Penance goes in there, Athea is going to get sucked into the well and never come out. And I promised Penance I wouldn't try and trick her into letting go of Athea. So I'm going to do it. And then that's what's going on in Ankh's mind. And she just says reaches, like lunges towards your bandolier on your chest and like plucks off one of the fire oil bombs. It's like, if that's okay. I mean, you absolutely can stop her. But so
I think that, I mean, you can definitely do that. It's not a problem. But I think that as you pull your wrist back, Penance kind of catches your wrist, and not in like she's not mad.
No,
but like, what are you?
But like in an intimate way.
Yes, of course. And she's like, what are you doing? Because she can see, even if she doesn't know what's going on in your mind, she can see that you're not okay.
Yeah.
So she wants to know, like, what normally you don't just take, right? So like, what's going on?
Yeah.
And Ankh, before you can say anything, I think you recognize that Penance's eyes have changed into Athea's eyes, like they're deep and cavernous. And you know Athea's listening.
Oh my gosh, and my voice probably shifts as I'm talking.
Oh, nice. It becomes coarser. Yeah. So I look at you.
Yeah.
And I use our ability, because fuck Athea, I don't want her listening.
Yeah.
Even though we're right next to one another, we have Bound in Darkness. We can spend one stress to communicate over any distance. Now, normally, I would just tell you with my mouth words, but I'm not going to. And I just I stomp, not stomp. I like, what's a physical thing I can touch right now in this moment? I think. What is the space like, Jamie? What is the space around?
Yeah,
is it the canal? Is it like a basement? What kind of visuals are we looking at here?
Right. So I think it is in fact the basement, but there's a part of it that each spirit well is different, right? But this
Yeah.
one in particular, what it looks like is a part of the ground just refuses to be built up over it. You can see over the years they kept trying to do it, but instead the ground has just given way over and over again. And so it's this gaping mouth of a hole, right? It's almost like the sides are shaped like teeth. And you can see like Lily Blood has like written like all of these sigils along the side to like contain the spirit well as it possibly can. And there's this like mechanism that you can take a closer look at later that's floating where the ghosts are like the worst of it is not coming through, right? So the mechanism is like keeping them back somewhat, but the rest of the space is like very much a rundown basement. You can tell like this used to be a higher floor in the house, but it was like overcome by the flood water and the
Nice.
and the earth growing over it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, so I'm going to spend a stress, and the way the move is worded is that you can whisper something that is heard by every cultist, but the way we have interpreted it is because our demon is a demon of earth, is that we can send things through the vibration of the earth. And we're touching the earth right now, we're touching the mounds right now. And so the camera just like looks like Ankh and Penance are having this really like deep like stare into each other's eyes. But the special effects team later on does this thing where like we feel this vibration like going through on like traveling through Ankh's arm into yours, and we can see this little bit of vibration, and then you just get all these like cut scenes, and like you get this scene where you see the Lord of the Depths eye as Ankh saw it, being like the demon is, this place must be flooded. And then like another cut to like Ankh and the Vasu school when she was young, like learning about spirit wells and like how they contain all this and how they hold back all this energy. And so I don't think she tells you with words so much as like you see all of these images of what her plan is to do. And that's just to like blow up whatever's in there, like destroy that mechanism. And let the place be flooded, both like I think both physically with water and with ghosts. I mean, I think that's, if I'm being real, I don't think the ghost well will get away, but I think the ghosts that are right at the fringe, it's like turning off the lightning barrier for a moment. I think, yeah, that's it. That's what's going on. And, and I think it's a bad plan, but it's the one that we've got in the moment, because I'm also pretty sure that the minions of Lily Blood are going to be behind us,
right,
in a minute. Like we are still physically in a part of the house. Like they can get down here. They just,
yeah.
So
now, does Penance know that if she goes down there, Athea will be? She doesn't know, right? That if she's the one that goes into the well. Jamie's like, what do I do here?
I think that's a great question for you to decide, Kristen.
Yeah, I don't know if Penance would know, right? Like, because Ankh is super intimately familiar with, right? Like this sort of thing. But I don't know if Penance is.
Right, and if Ankh's not saying it, ooh.
I mean, please, by all means, say I'll go, just so I can say no, you can't. I mean, give me the dramatic opportunity, please.
Yes, I think she absolutely. Now, here's the thing, though. Are we still talking? Because don't I have to spend a stress to talk back to you?
I think you would, yeah.
Which would trauma me out.
That would be terrible. I mean, is it worth spending a stress just to? Is it worth traumaing just to?
No, I will just say the words to you. Let me go. Let me be the one. Out loud. So all this silence has happened, right? And
all this silent communication, and you're saying it.
Yeah.
I don't know if Ankh knows if you know what that means.
But Athea does.
But Athea certainly must.
Yeah. Are you still going to say it out loud, knowing that Athea is going to hear you?
Oh God. Well, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, this is where you know what I
love
mean?
this. I love
Yes,
this.
she
I
does
love the
say it.
layers. I love the like contextual layers. I think you should absolutely say it out loud. I think
She
it's
says
fantastic.
it because
Okay.
Kristen knows, but
Yeah.
Penance doesn't know.
Yeah.
So Penance for
Yeah.
sure
Okay.
says this.
So I'm gonna say this, like when Penance says, "Let me go." There's a moment where Penance's eyes darken even further, and you can hear Athea in your head, and Athea says, "If you let her come close," like, and the threat just hangs, right?
Yeah. Nice. Yeah, I think this is so beautiful. I love this so much. Kristen, I think Ankh, like you hear like such a snap, 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 snap as her collapsible lightning baton like unfolds, and like we see it like arcing, and she's like, and she looks at you and she says, "I've prepared for this all my life. I know what to do. I know you'll be with me." And she wants to convince you, and I think I should roll because I think it's up to you to decide, does this work? If you feel like it's possible for her to convince you in this moment.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
I
think
feel
so.
like she doesn't want to tell you what it would mean because she's really afraid of what Athea will do.
Yeah.
And she doesn't know if you know already. So
Right. And we have like seconds. So it makes sense.
yeah, exactly. There's no time.
Yep,
So all right.
There's no time.
So how does a sway roll sound to you?
Sway or command? Sway?
Sway someone's charm, logic, deception, disguise, or bluff. Yeah, it might be more command. Command, obedience, or force of personality, intimidate or threaten, lead an action.
That sounds like what Ankh is doing, yeah.
I feel really bad using this move on you, but I'm pretty sure you worship the demon that I consorted with, so I'm going to use my occultist to get +1d to command you.
Yeah.
Because I've definitely talked to the sunken pylon, and
Yep.
you definitely worship it because we both do. And I think it's germane. I'm like, we both have a job that the rusted lock has assigned us, and this is mine. I have to break this lock.
Mm-hmm.
Metaphors. So many metaphors.
So many.
Can I tell you that I have a secret plan?
Dude.
I have a secret plan.
Sean or Ankh? I'm so confused.
Ankh has a secret plan.
Just teasing.
But we'll see. All right.
Okay.
So fortune roll? Position effect? You tell me, Kristen. Is it dangerous? Is there consequences at stake here? Or are we just rolling to see how much influence I have on you?
I think we're just rolling to see how much influence.
Cool. Because nothing I do, I will ever say, like I ever want to say, like this forces you to do something or not do something. But
oh yeah, no, I definitely know that.
Middling.
Okay.
Thank goodness for that extra die.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
And throwing it out there that if you wanted to like help but not help, if you wanted to assist, you could assist without going in. Obviously traumaing yourself, but you know.
Right. I mean, I'm like, Penance is gonna trauma. I'm just
You're just like, how is it gonna happen?
I'm just kind of waiting for it to be like, oh, this is the moment that it makes sense for her to trauma. Yeah. But they kind of have all been those moments. This is a really big score, a really big, like, there's a lot of big moments in this session.
Yeah, absolutely decide whether or not there's something I'm going to try, and I would love Penance's help with it.
Okay.
If it makes sense to you.
Okay.
So I'm going to pause it. I'm going to flash forward. Haha, we can just do that. To when I'm standing there, and you can decide retroactively whether or not you decided to go in or not. But I'm standing there with a lightning hook, and it looks like I'm going to try and like grab hold of the device and like open it up, pry it open, and like throw the fire oil in it. And in the last moment, what I want to do is spin around, hook Athea out of Penance, and throw her into the pit. Fucking Vader style. I want to chuck the Emperor into the hole.
Oh, I mean, I can't say no to a Star Wars reference.
This is my plan. This is my
Okay.
this is my thought, because I genuinely feel like if Penance wanted to go in, that she's ready to give up Athea,
Yeah.
and that's what she's ready for.
Yeah. I'm going to say, and Jamie, tell me if I'm wrong. I'm going to say that just in these last few seconds, like Athea, in order to have talked to Ankh, like have taken like almost full control of Penance to threaten Ankh, that Penance realized what was happening. To some degree, Penance is like, there's a change. I've seen my face change. I can feel this. And so I think that it makes sense for Penance to assist. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and I'm gonna say, so this is definitely an action to do that.
Yeah.
What is this, a tune, do you think?
Hey, I feel like a tune is right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now I want to flash back to the like, I got this. Like, I know you'll be with me. And like, does that in the moment mean that Penance is like, okay, I'll follow you, but I won't, like, I'll be close. Is that the setup that allows you to like stay close but not too close? That Athea is not prepared.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I think that because Penance had your wrist.
yeah.
I think that when you say that, she just kind of squeezes
Nice.
your wrist once, right? So like she doesn't have to say anything or trauma herself out to use our Bound in Darkness, but definitely gives you that signal of like,
Cool.
okay.
So Jemmy, yeah, I think I think a tune makes the most sense here. Attune to spirits in the ghost field, channel electroplasmic energy. I've got a vial of electroplasm. I pour it down the lightning hook, so it like ignites with electroplasmic flame. Just as I'm about to let all the ghosts free, I then switch the plan. It could also be sway to be like tricking her. What I think either action makes sense because it's a bluff. Actually, I think that's more it. I think it's more about the bluff than it is about the attune. I think the attune is important, but it's not nearly as important as the bluff. What do you? Does that sound good to you?
Yeah. And I'm gonna say, like, as the lightning sparks, you can see like throughout the basement, like it flashes back and forth, all of this light. And we can see your silhouettes, right? Like up against the walls. And so I think there's a moment where we see like each of you have these like twisted shadows, right? Like Ankh's shadow is full of eyes that open and close. And like Angelo's shadow is something that like shifts and morphs like the skinwalkers up above. And we don't see Penance's shadow. Like it's where it's supposed to be, it's completely gone.
No.
So I'm gonna say, even Athea has been around for a long time, I'm gonna say it's desperate limited in order to sway her. You know?
Yeah.
That's totally fire. I would like to posit that my fine lightning hook and my electroplasm and all the gear that has sort of brought us to this point is might have effect on position here. Is that going to do anything, or am I still going to be limited?
I'm going to say, because like we're going with the sway to convince her, right?
Yeah.
I will say that if you're willing to let the Lord of Depths help you, because it is their daughter.
Yeah.
So, right.
Oh yeah. I mean, the line I was going to say is return from the depths from whence you came. I mean, that is 100% exactly what I'm going to say as I try this thing. So.
Right. So as part of the devil's bargain, you will have to, because you have like committed yourself to the demon of the rusted lock, but you will also have to swear an oath to the Lord of Depths.
Okay.
Right? To serve two masters, basically.
I think I'll turn that devil's bargain down.
Ooh.
Okay.
Yep. I'm returning her as I said I would, but I'm not binding myself to this forgotten god. In fact, I'm trying to free myself of this forgotten god. So.
That seems like Ankh. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tired of other people telling me what to do, Jamie.
Yeah.
Okay. So desperate limited. I agree with you. All that fancy stuff would have made more sense if I was arguing for an attune roll, but since I'm saying sway, I think you're right. You wanna give me an assist?
Yeah, that's the
On this
trauma.
penance? What's it look like?
This is the trauma moment.
This is the
This is
trauma
the trauma
moment.
moment.
Oh, by the way, but once Penance is trauma, like she's gonna be out for the scene, right? Just as a reminder, right?
Right.
Yeah. If you want to wait, because I don't think I'm going to complete this task in this action.
Okay.
I mean, the fact that it's being limited means I think I'm going to have a wrestling match with her, even if I
Okay.
succeed. If you want to
Okay,
wait.
so let me hold the assist then, and I'll
Okay.
assist. Okay.
Cool. All right, here we go. Desperate sway. I'm going to push. I'm not going to take the devil's bargain. Who am I? I'm not going to take the devil's bargain.
No, it's very
Who is
odd
this
though.
Random person that's
Not taking devil's bargains and rolling quadruple sixes.
desperate, limited, one bonus die. Okay.
We got a 4. We got a
Okay,
4. We got a 4. We got a 4.
Woo!
I was doing great on stress.
You're just pushing yourself left and right.
Yeah, I know.
All right. So this is what happens as you. So the last minute, right? You hook, right? The lightning hook towards Penance, and you start to pull out Athea, right? And as that happens, Penance's mask shatters, right? And we can see like her face is completely changed, right? Into Athea's face, into the cat. We see the cavernous eyes. We see the skull coming through. It's like Penance's face is like melting away. And as you pull at it, you can, at the pull of the spirit, you can see it like trying to lift away. And we start, once again, we just see a glimpse of what Penance looks like, but we don't see the full face in this moment, right? And there's this huge scream that fills the basement, that fills the spirit well, and all the spirits within the spirit well start to scream at the same frequency, right? So I'm going to say that the first consequence, I really cannot justify anything but a level 3 harm, because like you're in the basement with a spirit well with an ancient ghost and they're all screaming. I think the terror is like horrific to behold, right?
Mm-hmm.
All of them at the same time. So I'm going to say it's like a level 3. It's sort of like the echoing, right? Like the screeching that's just like down to your very bones, Ankh, like as Athea resists you and she places her hands around your neck.
Yeah.
Oh.
Right. And you see her in her like full on, like she's huge. And you realize she's bigger than when you saw her last time. The last time she left Ankh's body, and you realize it's because she's been the last time that she left Penance's body. And you realize because she's been feeding on Penance this whole time. And so she's much stronger and she's much bigger than the last time you saw her. Right.
Yeah.
So she's like standing 12 feet tall. So do you want to resist that consequence?
I do. Yeah, I want to resist it just because I want to be in shape to keep wrestling with her. And I think it's gross, but it's totally... So a ghost is nothing but spectral energy. Demon blood we know is caustic to them. I think she's got her hand on my throat, and that's the moment where I'm just like... and I make a mess. But some of that mess is demon bits, and I think as it like passes through her, I think it might weaken her grip for just a moment, enough that I can slip away and only take level 2 harm or whatever that makes.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's resist.
Is this resisting a consequence from mental strain or willpower, or is this resisting a consequence from physical strain or injury?
I think it's more resolve. Yeah,
Okay.
I think that makes sense.
All right. Let's roll it. Jesus! Apparently, I just never need to do anything but roll resolve.
Just roll resolve.
Yeah.
Amazing.
It's like I was planning for it, Jamie. It's like I was just like, you're choking the wrong lady. Gross. I'll stop talking about it.
Perfect. And so as what we're not going to describe in detail hits Athea, I think we start to see like her form start to light up with the fire of the demon. And we can see like she pulls away, right? And she's like screeching, but you're able to keep your resolve. You're able to like resist what's going on, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, and so Penance, I'm going to say that the shock of having Athea pulled out at you is almost too much, right?
Yeah.
I really cannot justify it other than harm. I'm so sorry.
No,
I know Penance is like hurting. Yeah.
Oh, so is this harm to both of us? So there were two consequences: harm of me being ghost choked, and harm of Penance having her spirit ripped, shredded.
Yeah.
That seems reasonable.
It makes total sense. My only question is, what prize do I win for completely filling my harm track? Does my stress go away?
The prize you win is the next time you take harm, you die. Unless it's completely reduced to 0. That's the prize, is that you figured out a way to lose a Blades character.
Oh. She can just become a ghost.
Yeah,
I could just change her to a ghost.
Absolutely. And
John Harper thought of that.
We'd have Penance the Ghost would be a great character. We'd have a little well for you to hang out in, or even right here, or more likely to get sucked into.
Yeah. Okay, level 3 harm. Makes sense, Jeremy. I think that makes sense.
Yeah, because like, she's been feeding on you for a while, like, and just being ripped out. Yeah.
What is that? Is that like a ghost drain? Is that like,
I like
weakened drain. Soul? Is that?
What does Judd say? It's like,
Judd does have good. Judd does have good.
That's funny. I like ghost drain. Can I use that?
Yeah.
Good at.
We're asking Judd.
That's funny.
But yeah, okay.
I can change it.
Nice.
Yeah. So the cool thing about this captioning is that the captioning is working. The bummer of it is that it didn't update the thread, so it still has our old title. So I'm fixing that right now.
Oh, right. Nice.
All good.
Okay. But at least the captions are working well. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
So thank you, Judd and Roger, for letting me know about that. And then mine, I think mine was going to be like choked.
Yeah.
But I think it's a little not so bad.
Oh, no. Yeah.
Do I resist it? I assume I just resist it down to level 2, or does my demonic relief?
I think the demonic relief was good enough to turn it into like no harm. I think that was I'm not an unbearably cruel GM. Just
no.
I mean, it was a well-timed reason to release that demon.
Yeah, I'm thinking like a fire demon that's been feeding on power, chucked into Athea. I feel like that's perfect. Like, perfectly timed, perfect idea. So, undeniably good. All right, so I'm also going to say,
though? She's got me, but I've got her.
Yeah, I'm also going to say like this is like we're getting down to the wire, because you can see like this. You've only bought yourself so much time. You can sense like the skinwalkers are going to catch up with you like any second.
Right. I really assume that we got like one action worth of time, right? And like
exactly
that's the thing we did. So now it's like skinwalkers showing up.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
Kristen, what are you feeling like right now? I think Ankh is wrestling Athea, this monstrous ghost, trying to pull her into the well.
Yeah, Penance, do you want to blow up the well?
Yeah, I think I need
while
to
this
look.
is happening, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I think I need to use that fire oil and
Yeah.
blow up the well. So yeah, let's do it.
We see a little super quick flashback where like I pulled it off your chest and then you grab my arm and like as we walk away you see I dropped it back into your hand, so you've got it
Yeah.
right there.
So I have it.
Like it was the
That's
whole fake out of like I got
Yeah.
this and then I dropped the fire oil in your hand, so I knew that you got this, but like we didn't show it on camera till just now.
So good, so good.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Am I wrecking?
It does sound like you are in fact wrecking.
I
Yeah.
think your record.
I think I'm wrecking. I don't know if Saboteur would even matter right now. I don't think being quiet is an option, so I'm okay. Okay, let me.
I think Saboteur makes a lot of sense because when you wreck, the work is much quieter than it should be, and the damage
Yeah.
is hidden from casual inspection. So Roger previously suggested that like all the ghosts get free.
Mhm.
I think with Saboteur you have the ability to like create a chink in the armor, as it were, that Athea
Yeah.
could get pulled into, but not completely let every single ghost free.
Everything
Yeah,
out.
not until we're ready. You know,
We
not
can try
until. Because I kind
Yeah.
of want her to get all like ghost brawly. I think I want her to have to deal with all them other angry ghosts in there
Right.
before.
I like that. What's my position? Is it?
Oh.
It's controlled, right? I mean,
It's totally controlled.
it's fine.
Skinwalker's
Well, you know what?
running down the halls, Athea trying to grab
mean,
hold of you.
I think it's desperate, but I'm not the GM, so
Right. Because what you're trying to do is wreck it. You're trying to do it in a controlled way. You're trying. So let me ask: are you trying to suck Athea in, or are you trying to control the flood into the house? Right, and like.
yeah, I think I'm trying to suck Athea in at this point.
Yeah.
Okay, so if it's
I feel like ultimately, I don't know. It seems to me like that might be a setup action for us to like force her in. Like you make the hole, and then we have to like.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Actually, I was gonna say like it could even be instead of desperate, it's risky because, I mean, Ankh is keeping Athea busy, right? So
I'll take it.
Yeah.
Sounds risky.
Yeah.
The thing is, you now need help. You either need to push yourself or need to be assisted in order to take actions. So I'm going to give you the assist, which is that thing I just retconned of me dropping the fire oil into your hand.
Okay.
I will say
pulled
that
the stopper from it. It's like it's ready to go.
It's ready to go. Okay.
Yeah, I will say, Penance, just to let you know, Angelo is willing to help you out at any time. You just have to tick the bleeding out clock each time he assists you, but then you can act without having to push yourself.
Oh,
he
nice.
has like 3 more ticks. You know, he can help you at least 2 more times.
I think now is a good time for him.
Yeah, because he's right there. Yeah,
he's right there.
Yeah. So get an extra die for him helping you out. You know,
and am I standard or limited effect?
We're gonna say standard because you. Yeah. I feel like between your ability to see the ghost field and everything. Yeah.
Okay. I can't push myself or I'll try. Wait, am I traumatized out already?
No. You're
Oh
good.
no, I marked it, but I said I would hold on the assist. Okay. I'm going to take the bonus die for Angelo helping.
Nice.
Needed that die.
Good.
Yes. Okay.
All right. Well, if you didn't need, I was going to give you the assist as well, but you didn't add the die, so I'm just taking that stress right back. Never mind.
Please take that stress back.
Yeah. Would you mind ticking the Angelo clock for me just once, Sean, if you could, please?
Yes. Roger said, an implosion, not an explosion.
Oh, excellent. Okay, so it's a 6. So, Penance, tell me what happens. Like, how are you able to pull Athea into the well?
Yeah. I think that. Oh gosh, how do I get Athea into the well?
Sorry. I thought this was going to end up being a setup action to like
Oh,
open it up
right.
so that she could be pulled in. If she can, I think it's all great. I would just I would have well, I guess I definitely would have wanted to assist if this was like the pulling her in thing, but that's fine. It doesn't matter. I could, I will narratively certainly do it. So
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, then to clarify, Jamie, can Athea go into the well, or is the setup action for her to?
Yeah. No, I think so. Yeah. I think she can definitely go into the well in exchange for that 6. Let's do it. Right.
Right. All right. Do
Okay,
it. Do
cool.
it, Kristen. Bring it home.
So I'm gonna say that with a 6, I'm gonna say that I throw the fire oil into the well, right? Like clinks on the way down. And I think that I also am able to, Penance is able to talk to Athea. And I think it's almost like a banishing. I think that between Ankh wrestling her, and I think Athea's had her own struggles recently with the parent issue, and she really thought this was a done deal. Like she thought these were the final seconds before she had full control of Penance. And although Penance has filled her harm track, she just finds this like stubbornness and fire and anger. And I think that she just speaks to Athea without words in a rage of like reclaiming her own self, get out of my body, leave my friends alone, and is just like physically walking towards her and in the ghost field screaming for Athea to like go. And I think that just all of that combined and whatever Ankh wants to add is like enough to weaken her and get her to go.
Nice. And I think there's a moment where like Athea like reaches out and then like so gently touches against your cheek, and you hear her whisper in her mind, I would have given you everything. And to justify Angelo's like assistance, he reaches out and he grabs her hand. Right. And then we can see like his neck is like bleeding.
Yeah.
And like he had been gripping onto his neck to stop the bleeding. When his blood touches Athea, she starts to scream.
Oh.
Like she's reacting badly to his blood. Right. And that's the final thing that like pushes her into the
I love it.
Into the well.
Nice.
And I think at that exact moment, when Athea goes into the well, we hear the screeching. We see like bits of the spirits like dragging Athea down deep into the spirit well, right? We can see like she's being like they're trying to tear her apart, right, and feed on her. Like the ghosts here are ravenous and they're completely mad, right, because they've been stuck here for so long. I think that's the exact time when the mirror behind you shatters again and all the skinwalkers break through.
Of course it is.
So we have one last action in order to like claim this house before Lily Blood's ritual is like, it's not going to be as perfect as she wanted, but her ritual will be complete.
Right.
Ooh, okay.
So we have this one last do or die action. What are we going to do?
All right. So we talked about the idea of flooding the space. I still think that is possible. I think that it like literally involves like jumping down into the well and like pulling a stopper out, like a physical stopper out, and letting the water flood over it, and again maybe some ghosts as well, or trying to lure these people in these monstrosities into the thing, or maybe trying to get them all to vomit as Ankh did. But I feel like they're beyond just be like, oh, I ate something, I ate some bad shawarma, right, or bad fish. Like
their bodies are like incredibly, like some of them have merged into each other and some of them look like steel. I'm just gonna, it's bad. It's
they're
very
pretty
bad.
strong there.
Right. Doesn't feel like an afternoon digestive would help them at this point.
I say we flood it. I just feel like we've been going big the whole time, and I just think we flood it.
Does that make sense? Does that sound, Jimmy? What do you think is like more appropriate here. That like there is literally like a physical plug, cap, wheel, door, like at the bottom of this well that would have all this water pressure that it's holding back, or that there is some other sort of like pipes, mechanisms, whatever within the. I mean, I'm just ascribing that there must be a pressurized water source somewhere in this room, but that's why we went down here, right? Like that was the hope, at least. Does any of that sound reasonable to you? I don't want to
I
like
think so.
run roughshod and be like the thing I magically needed, because I'm also happy to do a flashback to like studying the building to like know where the where all the water was dammed up and like where the hydroelectric engine that they use to power the personal ghost field around it. I don't think actually we have hydroelectric engines. That'd be, but where the
Well, if you want to spend a stress to say that you prepared for this moment as a flashback, and I would love to cut to the stepsisters, like pulling on something at this exact moment, waiting for the signal being Athea screams, right?
Yeah.
Like you had planned this the whole time.
Absolutely.
I like
that is cool with me.
I think we absolutely. So I want to flash back to a time where we set up to flood the building by and I think it's a study. If you want it to be an action role, my inclination is that you were studying the floor, or maybe it's rec, honestly, because we're just planning the rec.
Yeah, I feel like it's rec. I feel like that makes the most sense. Yeah, so just to see if this plan is pulled off, right? So just spend the stress for the flashback. I'm just gonna say it's a 1 because you have the help from the stepsisters.
Okay.
Right.
This doesn't seem highly implausible.
No. This is plan D, right? Like in case you were able to kill Athea, or at least get rid of Athea, right?
In case of exorcism, pull
this
thread. Yeah.
I like this. I like the idea that the stepsisters had bet on which plan was going to come around, and one of them was like, and then the other one is like, see, I knew Penance would come through. and it's the only time they've talked separately, right? Where they don't talk.
Right, only when they're alone. Only when it's just the two of
them.
Yeah.
What's my position effect on this rec roll? Because I think it's effectively a rec roll for the moment, even though I'm doing it in the past. I think like.
Yeah. I'm gonna say, we're looking at. I think the effect is great because you planned for this, but I think it's still desperate because of the
timing has to be just perfect.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
Kristen, do you think this is something that you would join in on? I mean, I can absolutely see this being like, we're going to flood the place, as regardless of whether it included setting Athea free. I can totally see that's a thing that we would do together.
Yeah.
Cool. Let's lead a group. Let's do a group action. I'll lead it.
Rec. Yes.
Desperate.
Oh, are we desperate? Sorry.
Yeah.
Said that.
Lots of XP today.
No, it's great. Yeah, I'm not complaining.
Desperate. What was the effect?
Great.
Great.
Mm-hmm.
Great. Cool. None's for me. It's okay.
Oof. Hold on. I'm sorry.
You got this. Just setting you up. Yes!
Thank God!
Bring it home.
Oh my God. Perfect. Yes. I saw the 1 for us and like I
know. I was like, oh
you
no.
You have a 6.
I also read ones before.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I call it one vision, right?
Yeah.
So, but we have a 6. Oh my gosh. So that means it goes off perfectly. Amazing. Yeah. I think like we cut to the sisters talking and then they pull on a mechanism. We see the lightning travel through underwater. And like as that happens, we see the spirit well, like the mechanism smashes through, right? And then there's this perfectly timed flood, like just as the skinwalkers are about to like descend on the 3 of you and are about to like rip you to shreds. They're caught full force by the spirit well, just like flooding upwards. And you can see like how it floods not just through the house, but through the ghost field, right? like it just tears through the corridors that you had prepared in advance. And we see all of the doors open up through the ghost field and physically, and we see like the eye of the Lord of the Depths come through. And Anki, feel their presence like drain from your body, like the tattoos start to fade deep into your skin as the eyes close onto themselves.
So
Nice.
Good job, y'all. Very satisfying.
Good job, everybody, blowing up a ghost
Yeah.
spell and flooding a building and drowning a bunch of fire demons. I think we should take a break. I also wonder if we should, Jamie, are we in peril from this flood? Because it sort of seems like we'd be at ground zero. It sort of seems like we would all be drowned.
I'm going to say in exchange for the 6, the 3 of you are barely able to make it out in time, right? Yeah. And there's another hearse boat waiting for you.
Yeah,
right.
The regular thing. Boat. I'm gonna say, but I will also say that there's a moment where we see Lily Blood like above, right before the flood, and this is something that Penance and Ankh, right, are not privy to, right? But right before the spirits like completely consume the house, we see Lily Blood like snap her fingers again, and there's a moment where the spirits stop just for a few moments, and Lily Blood turns to the wall and says, "You have your orders. You know what you're supposed to do." And we see that shadow that suspiciously looks like Penance, like nod, and like the shadow disappears.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Call back to that time when you left the ghost field and there was that thing you left behind.
Yeah.
Love it. All right, friend.
Okay. So let's take a break.
So good. Okay.
Sounds good.
We're gonna go take 5 or take however long this video lasts, and we'll be back in a second. Thank you for hanging out with us, friends. This has been delightful. See you soon.